Welcome back to Tiki Taka Talk, and today we have a Champions League quarterfinal recap. We're going to be recapping all 4 games and predicting the Champions League semifinals. This is a big video. Only 2 of these videos left, and the next one is a Champions League semifinal recap and predicting the final. But let's get into things. Starting off with the biggest matchup of the round, Bayern versus Real Madrid. Now in the first leg, at the Santiago Bernabeu, it was 2-1 Bayern. Neuer turned on to prime Neuer. He was absolutely carrying, and Vinny is just terrible. They won 2-1. They got a lucky goal at the very end to get some hype going into the second game. And then in the second game in the Allianz Arena, Arda Güler was cooking. Vinny was absolutely trashing it up. And it was 3-2 for most of the game. But then at the very end, Luis Diaz tied it up. And then Michael Olise sent Real Madrid packing to make Bayern win 6-2 or 6-4 on aggregate. Now, Bayern are going to the semifinals. My team, we finally made it back to where we belong. And unfortunately, we have the worst matchup. PSG versus Liverpool. Both legs ended in a 2-0 victory for PSG. Last year, they won the Champions League 5-0 over Inter. But now, there's no Serie A team for them to steamroll. Now, we have to see if they really can become a dynasty, become what they wanted with all that money. They won the Champions League with teamwork, but now can Doué show class? Can Kavicha show that he is world class? And can Ousmane Dembele go back to back? Atletico versus Barcelona. This was the shocker of the tournament. Atletico in the first leg won 2-0. Craziest upset. Okay, Lamine Yamal was carrying, but he couldn't get it done. Atletico was playing absolutely amazing, and they just absolutely destroyed Barcelona. Kubarsi got a red card, and they are still haunted. So, Barcelona, gotta wait till next year. And in the second leg, though, Barca won 2-1, but it was not enough. They thought La Remontada is back. But unfortunately, Atletico immediately scored after, and that was how the game ended. So Atletico move on, 3-2. Absolutely massive upset, beating Barcelona of all teams. And now, Champions League predictions are completely screwed because I picked Barcelona to win. Why? Why did I do that? And the final matchup of the quarterfinals is Arsenal versus Sporting. This is probably the worst matchup of the entire tournament. Genuinely, who cared about this? First leg, Arsenal wins 1-0, and then the second leg ended 0-0. 1-0 on aggregate, Arsenal win. At haram ball tactics versus just like a team that shouldn't even be here. What is Sporting doing in the top 8? But, Arsenal move on. But now it's time for the semifinals. And Bayern, PSG, Atletico, and Arsenal, they have been doing great. And something I've realized is that everyone in the first leg won the thing. Like if you won in the second leg, you won both legs. So maybe that happens in the semifinals as well. But starting off with the best of the semifinal predictions. Bayern versus PSG. Bayern, the best informed team right now, and not only in Germany, but in the entire world. Okay, Harry Kane's cooking, Olise's cooking, Diaz is cooking. Neuer had a stinker against that second leg in Real Madrid, but he has been cooking as well. Kimmich is cooking, Ta is cooking, Upamecano is cooking. Yeah, this team's just doing great all around. but they face against last year's Champions League winners, PSG. They are ready to win, but can they go back-to-back? First leg in Paris. It's a 1-1 draw, leaving so much excitement. Bayern look like they are the better team in the first leg, but they can't find that back of the net. And PSG, they're kind of struggling, but they are keeping up with Bayern Munich. But in the second leg, in the Allianz Arena, Bayern wins 4-2. Another late winner, spectacular in the second leg, allowing them to win 5-3 on aggregate. Bayern go to the Champions League finale. Let's go. Bayern, I feel like they deserve to go through against PSG. PSG has kind of had an easy run. Sort of, maybe not, but they just beat out Liverpool, who's the second worst team of the quarterfinals, behind, of course, Sporting. And that leaves the other one, Arsenal versus Atletico. Close your houses, close your doors, lock your windows, because there are going to be so many bombs for this terrorism of a game. Harambal versus Harambal. This is about to be the worst looking game of all time. Set Piece FC versus Atletico Madrid, who are the most offensive team. No one wanted this. This was the worst possible outcome. And we got this game. These two look terrible. No one wants to see this matchup. This is the team that everyone hates and a team that is known for playing super defensive. So, with that being said, in the first leg in Madrid, I have it being a 2-2 draw. Another draw in the first leg. So much excitement goes into that second leg. I think this matchup, Julian Alvarez, Sorloth, Griezmann, they're going to be cooking. So is Koke, Jan Oblak. But Arsenal are going to have their players, Gyökeres, Odegaard, Saka, Saliba, and Gabriel are going to be doing good in defense. But going to the second leg, in London, Arsenal are ready to win, and they do! 3-2-1 versus Atletico. Another 5-3 finish on aggregate. But, yeah, Arsenal get the win and go to the final with their Corner Kicks FC. And it's Bayern versus Arsenal. Bayern, the best attacking team in the world, versus Corner Kick FC. I better see, if this happens, I better see 99% of the population become Bayern fans for at least one day. Because Arsenal cannot win the Champions League. That would be a disgrace to everything we know and love about the game of football. But, unfortunately, that may be a possibility. But I'll see you next time on Tiki Taka